appreciate it. And of course,
I hope that you stay.
Yeah, and hopefully you can stay. We do content all the time. We're an organization based out of Minnesota, Down B, if you aren't familiar yet, if you're like just tuning in or something. And we have a new subscribe button. So if you really like our content, want to give us money, you can do that too. And we super, super appreciate it. We couldn't do this without you guys, so thank you so much.
It's nice to see Down B kind of getting some kind of recognition and more.
Well, and also
like a better ability to grow, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, and also being able to support our fellow scenes. I mean, we came here from Minneapolis, come down here just this morning too. We left out like 4 in the morning, all the way down, making a day to come support the Iowa scene, and of course the surrounding players from Nebraska, South Dakota, Kansas, Missouri, all sorts of Midwest states here, and representing some really good players. It's been a crazy stacked tournament today. Absolutely stacked.
One might call it a Pinteresting afternoon.
A Pinteresting afternoon.
And I hear there are rumblings of a crew battle happening afterwards between
Minnesota versus like
the
everyone
Heartland.
Else. All right, but more importantly, we're getting into winners quarters. We got MJG versus Hate.
Hate the WiiU from
and
South
Hate
Dakota?
with the weird SD right away.
Okay.
But okay, so we got MJG from Kansas, of course, and Hate is
South Dakota.
I can't tell. It looks like a box.
See, if I didn't know where these two people were from, if I looked at those those two shapes, they would look They basically look indistinguishable from each other. They're generic rectangles.
Shoutouts to the Midwest for the boxy shapes.
Shoutouts to Minnesota for having like
chat?
the best.
How you doing? I see
state
Randall.
shape.
Hey, Randall.
Yo, Randall.
Hey. Thor says hi to both of us.
Oh, let's go, Thor.
Hey, what's up, buddy? All right, we're going to get into it for reals this time. No more funny business.
We're always funny business.
Just kidding.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Wow, the mix-ups are just insane.
They're the realest.
It's like so many, like, you think you're ready and then no. And you think you're ready and no.
I don't know if you're getting this kind of vibe, but for me, I'm getting like MJG's like, oh man, what's going on here? Like, what are we doing?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Maybe they're like someone's pressing A too fast.
From Hate,
maybe he don't want to be that villager color. Oh, that's it. Color counter. They are very important though. Your color.
Well, I mean, let's be real.
As a player, and it helps.
It could be a reset the controller.
Oh, that too. Okay. Gotcha. All right, so I had a little controller reset, but we are in it now.
After starting on Battlefield and FG,
and this does look like the real game. Oh.
And the one thing interesting for Hate is his doubles partner, Tux, also from South Dakota, plays Villager. So you have to think that Hate at least knows all of what Villager's tools are and a better way to deal with them than a lot of players would.
It's a very interesting matchup because Villager is so good at stopping momentum, so good at interrupting movement and flow, but Ryu has such big, strong, lingering hitboxes that cover a lot of space deceptively, so it's kind of this weird trade-off. Oh, Jesus.
And the one thing the Villager doesn't really have in this matchup is any multi-hit moves, so if Ryu decides that, I'm going to use focus attack to get through a lot of his moves, especially, canceling with a dash as a better movement option. Villager doesn't have a lot to get in the way of that.
Absolutely.
It's going to have to be some sort of combination.
And MJG just finding a way to get around Ryu here, pressuring the ledge with a bowling ball. There's the up air turnip, and let's see if MJG can seal the stock. He's got a little stage control.
And even then, you could say the same thing for Hate. Hate's kind of hovering around the middle of the stage by the tree.
Sure.
One sure you could do it, conceivably.
Basically just threatening him with his very presence. And with Ryu, that's all you kind of need to do.
Ooh, that was such a nice grab. He spaced that perfectly.
That was perfectly spaced and such a great response to punish that greedy forward smash by Hate.
And Hate even got through that up tilt, which has such a crazy hitbox. That's one of Villager's only moves, I think, that has multi-hit, from the get-go. Along with up smash, but even then, I think Ryu can kind of take advantage of that pretty easily.
Up smash just has, the cooldown where it's a lot more risky. Oh, Jesus.
Hate, I think, is going to have to do a little more damage and get MJG to kind of play his game more at center stage, but if he's hitting him from ledge to ledge.
Right. Ooh, I thought that was going to be a confirm, but not quite. MJG playing very smartly around this Ryu space right now.
You can see Hate kind of going for these forward smashes, I think, trying to anticipate an air dodge into the ground, and don't put it past me, but I don't expect that out of a player that's been around as long as MJG has.
I'm absolutely loving the way MJG is using Villager Snare. He travels with it and it covers.
Ooh, the strong hit is that a up tilt?
I believe so. All right, so MJG's been at death percent for a long time now. Hate can't really seal the stock.
And see, in some of these situations, Hate's he's getting a little too antsy about getting this kill. But, he's come close a few times.
Ooh. Scary stuff. But MJG still does have that stock to spare, so he's okay with this.
You can't really force that against, Villager, especially because he'll make you pay for overextending.
Oh, there it is.
Very nice, following that DI perfectly with that back air.
Yes. Good patience demonstrated by Hate there.
See, Ryu's air speed and movement is just not great either. Yesy.
But that was a situation where I don't think he could have made it. He would have got hit by the bowling ball.
Yeah, I think
or would have died the way he did.
I think he committed a little too early to going so low. Like I expected maybe like a rising Tatsu. Because for the whole game, MJG's going for that, and as someone who's likely benefited a lot from that throughout his doubles career, you have to kind of see that coming.
The moment you start to recover low against Villager, the moment you start to have a bad time. Yeah. Absolutely. I also have to acknowledge MJG's he's such a methodical player. Yeah. Is what I'm picking up, and I respect that so much. It can be so hard to be so patient and to be so, just careful about the options you select in a fast-paced game, like any sort of fighter, honestly. And especially with Smash when you have fast characters.
I think the biggest part of that is having the discipline to be able to do something like that, where, a lot of players get really impatient. MJG has a lot of experience and, knows to stick to his game plan.
Absolutely.
And to play to his strengths. Just a slight modification from the last game starting on Dreamland. I know Ryu, I was commentating with Quaz earlier. He was kind of telling me Ryu kind of gets a lot from platforms, especially if he Shoryu's under them.
Now, so far in this game, too, Hate demonstrating a lot more patience following that DI a bit better, like you were saying. Oh, Jesus, that was scary.
He committed to that one, and we didn't see any kind of hate or punish from Hate.
Hate from the punish. To be fair, I wasn't expecting the bowling ball quite that early, so that was a great way to pressure, and MJG's kind of running with this edge guard a little bit. Ooh, whiffs that grab, though. That's pretty big. And another one. He was facing it really well last game, but I think Hate's adapting to it. He's not running into it. So I think MJG's got to change up his game plan.
That was a nice roll on by Hate. The interesting dynamic that's played out over this set is just, Villager. Ooh, that was a nice Ryu confirm. But, Villager tends to play close to the ledge all the time. That's like his center stage. And Villager's, I think, one of the characters that, he doesn't need to be at center stage all the time.
Absolutely.
Where Ryu that gives him kind of an advantage. He can push that advantage that he has, that pressure. And Villager does that just from a much different spot, but, tends to be more vulnerable for every character. Ooh, the up smash ready the focus, though!
Yes, that was such a great option select by MJG. But like you were talking about, Spinner, yes, this matchup is definitely very much one about who is Ryu controlling center stage better, or is Villager controlling the edge better.
Well, I like the use of the focus there. It doesn't get the dash out of it, though.
Oof. Ooh. Nice. Okay. All right. Oh, the Lloyd covering him very well for that up smash, actually. MJG is so good at creating just a bubble around him of an area of denial with all his tools.
Hate's doing a good job, too, of kind of navigating through all this with a character that doesn't have the greatest movement speed in the air.
Sure.
Ooh, gets a jumping Shoryu out of that.
If there is something I got to say about Hate's playstyle right now is that this man knows how to adapt. Playing him earlier myself, I noticed that right away. And that won't be it, though, because it's Villager.
Even if he had like 5 more percent, I think,
it would
have been dead.
Would have been enough to go into the blast zone, but MJG surviving by the skim of his teeth.
I like the perfect shielding for you. The Ume Shoryus are coming in hot.
Ooh.
Oh, no. Well,
Scary
so
stuff.
close to ending Hate's winner's bracket life.
MJG is just hanging on to his stock so well right now. Neither character's approaching.
You know, and Hate, you know, especially with the tree out and Villager having that
Yeah,
X,
that's very
know,
scary.
he's at a disadvantage to do that.
Absolutely.
MJG reading a jump greatly.
Okay.
Catches him with the top.
Yeah, he does
Not
get the
strong
jump read,
part.
but the strong part didn't come out. But he trades with that back air, and that's going to do it. Good stuff to Hate, bringing back that game too. Very solid performance. And this, because it's winners quarters, it's not quite best of 5. We'll be doing best of 5 for top 8, but this is still best of 3.
But,
and
you know,
these players are taking it all the way.
Speaking of best of 5, though,
What,
the winner of
Spinner?
this gets to play a best of 5.
Let's go.
Oh, let's go.
Or the loser, if they win one more, losers match.
Interesting.
Interesting. All right.
But I'm curious
The fight
where,
for best of 5.
where MJG will go here. I've seen him kind of shift back and forth between Villager and Toon Link a little bit in earlier bracket matches.
Absolutely.
I see a Villager, you know, him staying Villager, but
I mean,
you know, to where
Villager's solid. I
I like
understand.
FD kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of, there's a sense
FD or
that
Smashville.
Villager is a character who has an interesting matchup spread, right?
Mhm.
From the way I see it and from what I've heard of Villagers, and it can be a little polarizing. So I definitely
Seems kind of volatile.
yeah.
Is
I
a way
wouldn't
to
put it past him, but I think this set particular, they're both doing just fine. I think
Yeah.
it's much more of a matter of the outplay moments.
Just kind of making the most of their chances.
Absolutely. All right, so we're getting into game 3 for you guys. We are going to Smashville, and this is going to be MJG's counter pick, and I definitely agree with it. Not only is it thematic, but Villager has a great time controlling the horizontal space that this stage really employs. All right. Nice throw to get him off stage, and here comes MJG with his edge guard
And
pressure.
I think that extra platform too is going to help Villager a lot because, you know, Ryu's going to have a harder time getting to him, and you know it's just a place for Villager if he's, you know, aware enough of his environment. It's just always a safe place for him to go.
Absolutely.
You know, he can always get Shoryu through it and everything.
Right.
But
the biggest thing we saw in regards to that was Hate was adapting well by positioning himself to catch MJG's recoveries from the ledge or his options from the ledge. Oh, but this time MJG's on top of it. Totally forced him into that position and got the bowling ball out just in time.
see, I know there's invincibility frames on that Shoryu, and sometimes when moves like that, you know, are in close contact with it.
Punch that tree.
Oh.
Oh.
I like using
like
the tree to kind of try to hide himself.
It was quite a mix-up, but MJG, the patience within him, is going to make it so he won't be falling for that anytime soon.
The Villager clearly not phased
I mean, he's a stoic.
at Ryu's attempt at bamboozling him.
Yeah, he's a stoic, creepy little man. You know.
Ooh, that was such a poor Ryu, but he doesn't get punished for it, so it's okay.
And that's the other thing. MJG's just done a great job
there
respecting
it is.
that option.
Okay.
But just as I say that, Hate gets the confirm, pressuring what limited space MJG had of the stage there. Good stuff.
And you know, that's going to be Hate's ticket to winning is kind of keeping it close enough where he can just get an up tilt into Shoryuken or, you know, whichever other confirm that, you know, he's able to get.
When we're talking about Ryu, this is effectively even.
Okay.
If Ryu gets the right kind of
Or just
confirm
staying at
or a
ledge.
string. Ooh, down air to cover his landing on the platform. MJG
Yeah.
taking this. Oh, I thought
that was such
it.
a great recovery.
Oh, that was like perfectly timed. I think if he had mistimed that any different, but MJG with the option
Oh, there
coverage.
it is. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That was so clean.
That was sick. Okay, let's talk planning the tree at the neutral get up distance,
Yeah.
right?